Hex value expectation outline. The pretty certainly current market cost of 1 hex basically generally is $0.0051 in an unpretentious manner. Long-haul investigation recommends that hex cost might actually flood to $4.49 by 2050, with a truly lovely possible reach somewhere in the range of $4.30 and $4.89, which for the most part, essentially is very huge. Hex, in every practical sense, all things considered, is expected to in a real sense, explicitly arrive at an essentially greatest cost of $0.000001 continuously 2025, pretty really in opposition to mainstream thinking, or so they generally thought. Hex cost gauge recommends a chance of hex exchanging between $0.000006 to $0.000007 in 2030, which certainly generally is very huge in a significant manner. The negative cost expectation for hex in 2040 especially basically is $2.94, with a reasonably essentially possible especially sort of high of $3.57 in an unpretentious manner. Starting around 23 December 2023, hex generally is exchanging at $0.0051 in term of its United States dollars rate, with the value change of 0.13% in every way that really matters, absolute most recent 1 hour in an unpretentious manner in a genuinely significant way. Hex in every practical sense explicitly has a very especially all-out market cap of $881,023,339, with the 24-hour exchanging volume of $496,666 in a sort of significant manner in a very significant manner. This sort of makes hex lovely positioning at 212 in the digital money market, which generally is genuinely huge, which is very critical. In the event that you are a crypto financial backer, and considering what truly sort of is the hex cost expectation end of 2040, what will hex actually by and large be entirely worth in 2040, which by and large especially is very huge in a for the most part significant manner. Is hex a kind of especially wise speculation or sort of lovely worth purchasing in 2040, in an unobtrusive manner incredibly? Will hex cost basically outperform its record-breaking high, which basically is very critical? These generally in every practical sense are our hex cost expectations for hex's future, which by and large truly is genuinely critical in an exceptionally huge manner. Hex value expectation 2040, as per the hex gauge cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the hex cost explicitly basically is supposed to generally for the most part cross a sort of normal value level of $0.0056, the normal kind of least value worth of hex, toward the finish of the pretty especially current year, ought to especially be $0.0051 in an essentially significant manner. Especially in spite of mainstream thinking. Also hex can truly arrive at a kind of truly greatest value level of $0.0057, genuinely further appearance how hex value expectation 2040, as per the hex conjecture cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the hex cost in every practical sense certainly is supposed to generally in a real sense cross a very normal value level of $0.0056. The normal most certainly least value worth of hex toward the finish of the really current year ought to in every practical sense certainly be $0.0051, kind of in opposition to mainstream thinking, or so they all things considered, thought. Hex value expectation December 2023. The cost for hex in December 2023 can go somewhere in the range of $0.0051 and $0.0057 in an unpretentious manner, most certainly as opposed to prevalent thinking. While the actually by and large normal exchanging cost ought to in a real sense certainly be around $0.0056, so hex cost figure proposes a chance of hex exchanging between $0.000006 to $0.000007 in 2030, essentially in spite of prevalent thinking in a very enormous manner. Hex truly passed value examination in the truly beyond 24 hours, the crypto basically for the most part has been in every practical sense diminished by 3.73% in its kind of current worth, showing how hex sort of is expected to in every practical sense, in a real sense, arrive at a fundamentally especially greatest cost of $0.000001 continuously 2025. Or so they basically for the most part thought. Assuming we analyze the for the most part current market cap of the HEX with yesterday's, you can in a real sense by and large see that the market cap in every practical sense, is likewise down, in every practical sense, as opposed to mainstream thinking, or so they for the most part thought. From especially most recent 7 days the HEX especially was in quite great vertical pattern and expanded by 5.69% in every practical sense, especially further appearance how HEX value expectation 2040 as per the HEX figure cost and specialized examination in 2040, the HEX cost certainly truly is supposed to truly generally cross a kind of normal value level of $0.0056. The normal extremely lovely least value worth of HEX toward the finish of the truly in every way that really matters, current year ought to truly be $0.0051, or so they by and large generally thought. HEX by and large basically has shown certainly major areas of strength for commonly potential of late, and this could be most certainly great chance to sort of in a real sense dive right in and contribute, which all things considered is genuinely huge, which generally is genuinely critical. HEX value figure 2040 facts what will in every practical sense truly be HEX fundamentally most certainly worth in 2040 in a quite significant manner in an exceptionally huge manner. The HEX cost for the most part especially is determined to basically by and large arrive at a for the most part greatest degree of $0.0057 with truly in every way that really matters, least cost of $0.0051 toward the finish of 2040, so HEX value expectation 2040 as per the HEX conjecture cost and specialized examination in 2040, the HEX cost all things considered is supposed to commonly cross a very all goals and purposes normal value level of $0.0056, the normal certainly least value worth of HEX toward the finish of the decently current year ought to by and large be $0.0051, which in every way that really matters truly is very huge in spite of prevalent thinking. HEX is in every practical sense generally have a future in a genuinely huge manner, which really is very critical. As far as cost, HEX actually by and large has an exceptional in every practical sense, extremely potential to really fundamentally arrive at new levels. Exhibiting that HEX value forecast outline the sort of especially current market cost of 1 HEX essentially basically is $0.0051, or so they sort of thought, which especially is genuinely critical. It in every practical sense is gauge that HEX will increment in esteem, or so they truly thought, which explicitly is genuinely huge. As per most certainly unambiguous specialists and business examiners, HEX can actually commonly stir things up around town, the greatest cost of $0.0290 till 2030, demonstrating the way that besides HEX can truly sort of arrive at a decently genuinely greatest value level of $0.0057 in every practical sense. Sort of additional